time has expired. Senator Cadell.
Thank you, Madam President. My question is to the Minister representing the Minister for Health, Senator Gallagher. Minister, on 29 July, the Minister for Health said, "It's never been harder or more expensive to see a doctor in Australia," and just yesterday described the GP shortage as terrifying and something he is deeply concerned by. Given the Health Minister clearly recognises the pressures of the health system is under, can the Minister guarantee the government will not cut the $27.5 million in regional development funding for the Coffs Harbour Health Services Precinct delivered in the 2022 federal budget?
Thank you, Senator Cadell. Minister.
Thank you. And I won't stand here and foreshadow decisions that are being considered through the budget process. I have been clear with the chamber, and I think publicly, that we are reviewing measures from the March 22-23 budget.
March. About Medicare?
The March election, the budget before the election. We are reviewing that. There was a lot of spending in that.
Order.
But if that spending
Senator
is warranted,
Ruston,
if it's needed, if it meets that test, then we will make decisions based on that. Like, seriously, we need to go through an incoming government to have a look at where this money was placed. And we've seen reports in the paper today about some of the decisions made under some of these programs where proponents weren't aware of it, where applications weren't made for it, when disproportionate amounts went to particular parts of the country. So there is a legitimate issue here that we are taking our time to work through on the issue of health and making sure that the health system is adequately resourced. We have already injected, I think, over $1.4 billion into the health system through various payments and COVID-related things. I'll check that figure if I've got it wrong, but we have made those investments. These were money that wasn't provisioned for by the previous government. We have made additional investments into health. On the issue of the GP shortage, that it is a crisis. Primary care is in crisis, and 9 years of cuts to Medicare and pushing back and not ensuring that there was a good supply of doctors coming in and being trained into general practice is a problem that we inherited from those opposite that we are trying to fix. And people can be guaranteed that the Labor government will always be better on hospitals and always better on Medicare.
Thank you, Minister. Your time has expired. Order. Senator Cadell, first supplementary.
Can the Minister also guarantee the government will not be cutting the $19.5 million in regional development funding for the Shepparton Rural Clinic Health School delivered in the 2022 federal budget?
Thank you, Senator. Minister.
Thank you. Well, as I said, my answer is the same. We are going through all of the measures. If they stack up, if they actually meet that quality test of yes, they're needed, yes, they can be delivered, yes, they've been properly costed, we will proceed with many of the measures where they meet that test. If they don't meet that test, then we are looking at other opportunities to reprioritise, to return money to the budget. Can I just remind people, the budget we inherited had deficits in the order of over $200 billion. $200 billion across the forward estimates, $1 trillion in debt. We have debt, cost of servicing debt are going to exceed many government programs in the next few years. Just the increase in interest is going to hit the budget to $125 billion. This is the budget that we're trying to manage, and we will prioritise accordingly.
Thank you, Minister. Your time has expired. Senator Cadell, second supplementary.
Can the Minister guarantee the government will not cut the $8.3 million regional development funding for a national post-traumatic stress disorder centre at the University of the Sunshine Coast delivered in the 2022 federal budget?
Thank you, Senator. Minister.
Well, we're working through all of that. As I've said, my answer is the same to the two previous questions. But I would also say that we are this is serious. We are also working through all of the health programs that are ongoing programs, like adult dental, for example, that just falls off a cliff next year. Yeah. They're the problems that we've inherited. What about the My Health record card? Also, we'll just get rid of that, shall we, in the next 2 years? We have so many terminating programs in health, over 200 terminating programs that we are dealing with, that you hid. So you tried to make your presentation of your budget look better by cutting services and not funding them properly, by not funding them in an ongoing. So is adult dental going to need to be funded after next year? Yeah, I reckon there's a pretty high chance it needs to be.
McKenzie.
But yet those opposite didn't make provision for it in the budget, and this is what we are fixing.
Senator